is Warriors Anonymous.
Oh man, we're here to talk about the kick from the end of the earth. Isaac and G in the hot seat, I guess, for this episode to cover the Warriors, well, a thrilling 2018 win. Isaac, I know that you're in basically, in footy terms, you're in the final sort of 5 to 10 minutes of baby arriving at your place potentially. So how were your nerves watching this game? Were you trying to keep it nice and cool and calm?
Yeah, I was KIT, keep it together. But if you're talking about the kick to end all kicks, it was Reece Walsh's kick that he booted into the wind and sent it out. So maybe he's the insider, former Warrior, just throwing the game for us.
I don't you love that? Good old Reece. I knew he'd always come through for us in the end. People bagged him a lot. I was actually, weirdly enough, I was really impressed with the kick that he was able to do. I was like, I don't know how you were able to do that. A, into the wind, and B, injured. That was incredible.
Exactly, yeah. Fucking, that's an impressive kick. It just had the wrong outcome.
Indeed. That was a great outcome for us. Possibly the strangest golden point in the history of the NRL. But how important is that kick for old Metcalf?
How important is it for the team? But yeah, awesome for Metcalf. I think he's taking on the mantle of SJ, right? And SJ probably would have done the same thing. He probably would have stepped up and said, just give me the ball. So yeah, he's just following in his footsteps, which I love. He's stepping up in big moments, right? He's stepping up when the team needs him. And sure, he may have had an off game, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, when the team really needs him, he's not one to shy away.
Absolutely. And he's also getting a bit of buzz as well on social media. Saw the Metcalf Mania sign over at bloody WrestleMania.
WrestleMania? Love it.
And then today he's getting featured on Damian Lillard, NBA All-Star Damian Lillard's Instagram for doing the time celebrations. So
yeah,
bro, so cool to see him just really get a bit of the limelight, I suppose, because you know that he's wanting to be a match winner like Sean, and I kind of thought he was going to slot that field goal at the end, but we're the Warriors. We're still not getting field goals, but that's all right.
Nope.
He came through in the end. But I guess in terms of, give us what was your actual reaction as that kick kind of sailed through? It was sort of almost NFL style with the straight down the ground look on it.
I love the viewpoint. Hey, I was hugging a cushion because I was just on tender hooks, just freaking out whether he was going to get that kick. Because 50 meters, even wind assisted, that is a tough kick. Really tough kick. And as soon as it went through, I flung my cushion across the room and just jumped up and down, gave Masaki a high five, and just hooted and hollered. So yeah, it was a nice way to finish the game. But yeah, that whole game just could have gone either way. So nice to go our way.
In terms of the game flow itself, we had it. We were all over them in that second half, especially. The Broncos were actually, I thought, fairly poor overall. And we were just doing what we needed to do, except kicking our goals. But bro, what were your thoughts on how we sort of slumped towards the end of the game? Because especially when Luke missed that last conversion, and I saw it was 12 points in it, I thought, oh man, we've still got so much time in this game here.
Yeah, I felt like it may not be enough because the Broncos are the Broncos and they can turn it on when they want, and they did. But yeah, we managed to end the game out pretty well, as much as you can, with the Broncos coming back as hard as they did. Maybe a couple of lucky calls our way helped us out, but it was. You just expect the Warriors to lose that game. We've been like that in the past where it never feels like enough points, and I had that sinking feeling. But yeah, turned it around.
We're fourth on the table, bro. Like, what is going on?
I can't believe it. Yeah, it's great. It's nice to be in some rarefied air this early in the season. And there's a bit of hype, there's a bit of belief that, there may not be the flashiest games, and maybe that's not the Warriors team that we'll see for the rest. That's the sort of Warriors team we'll see for the rest of the year. But it's cool if we're winning.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about it today. I was thinking, I don't know if I can remember a Warriors team as strange as this one in terms of when we look, when we're playing poorly, we look awful, like god awful, and yet we've managed to do enough in these games to to get to a 4-2 record and be sitting up the good end of the table. It's just kind of it is strange. I have been also thinking that the Warriors game plan is a little bit like a slow cooker. We're just kind of, the opposition's kind of sitting there in a nice little, gravy bath, and it's like, oh, this is all right, mate. This ain't going to be any problems for us. And then, as time wears on, they start to like get a little bit out of shape, and start to just fall apart a little bit. And that's exactly how we do it. We slow cook them. Yeah. But yeah, I guess you did mention that we may have got a little bit of luck from the referee. I know a lot of Broncos fans have certainly been forthright in their views on that. Give us, from your perspective, what were the calls that you thought might have gone our way?
I think that contentious forward pass is probably top of mind for everybody. But I'm of the opinion, fuck it. We have so much credit in the bank at the moment as Warriors fans that I just don't care. I'm completely biased. It's about time we get a bit of the rub of the green. And I don't care if you're a Broncos fan listening to this. So,
we need Buddha here to give a shout out to Greg Dyer in this episode. So your thoughts on the pass? You don't think the pass was forward?
I don't think it was forward. I mean, initial look, I thought it was line ball, but yeah, could go either way.
Yeah, I honestly, I missed it live. I thought, oh, here we go. We've just done a classic Warriors right on half time. Mm-hmm. Instead of getting 2 points, we've given away 6. Like classic us. Yep. And then to see it on the replay, and I was like, oh no, that ref actually, I thought he got it spot on. And the Aussie, honest, commentators thought he had as well.
To be honest, I did look away at that 1 split second, and I was just like, I don't care. I don't care what the result is. I honestly don't care. Like, my mind just goes back. We have banked so many bullshit calls in the past. It's about time we start, balancing the ledger. So fuck it.
I know a lot of people have been, the most common sort of complaints I've seen are about that forward pass, which I think was forward. Kind of made me laugh. I was like, Broncos fans are getting angry about a forward pass that was called
forward passes.
Forward. Anyways, we're playing rugby league here, folks. But there was a lot of chat as well about the penalty count, which was heavily in our favour. And honestly, I didn't see anything really outlandish in that. I thought that, again, it was the slow cooker, the boa constrictor. We were just slowly trying to strangle them. And as a result of that, we were getting, 6 agains, which they were, to be frank, I thought they were a little bit lucky to not lose a guy to the sin bin at one point, as the referee had threatened to do so. Maybe the one call that I thought they were very unlucky on was that Tane Tuopiki, when he got tackled back into the end goal. I thought that might have been, other than that, I thought everything else was kind of within range of being, sweet. I wouldn't have had an issue if I was getting those, certain calls against us. So I just thought, well, chill, fam. In terms of the Broncos, there's been a little bit of chat around the fact that every time they go to New Zealand, they have to cover up their gambling sponsors. And this time they decided to do it with with player names on the back. So let's go a quick hard on now with you, brother. I want to know, do you think that teams should actually have the names on the back of the jersey just for normal games?
Yep, I like it. For me, if I had my name on my jersey, you feel like a bit of ownership of that number and that position. You would always feel like that. And it's just another really cool novelty. I know it's hard when you've got changing squads week in, week out, but I love it. Yeah, I really like the idea of having your name on the back of the shirt. What about you?
Look, I would be okay with it. Yeah, I'm not sort of like bursting at the seams going, oh, we need to do that. Like, I'm kind of like, if they do go ahead and do it, I'd be sweet. I probably think that currently I feel like there's a little bit of over sponsorship across all the jerseys. So especially if they would put the name there in place of a sponsor, I'd be kind of, quite keen for that. I think it would make good sense from their side as well, making extra merch sales and so on and so forth. Just like they do in the NBA, often it's a lot to do with the player rather than the team itself. But we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. Man, our forward pack going up against the likes of, Paddy Carrigan and also the Filipino Voltron, pain heart. Our boys stood up, man. Like, our boys were leading from the front. Aaron Clark, immense. Mitch Barnett, wonderful. Jacko Ford, I mean, overall he did well with his stats and that, but there was still a number of people probably calling for his head on the error front. He made a few. What's your thoughts on him? Is he worth that sort of downside in his game?
Tough one. It's a really tough one because, yeah, stats-wise, he did really well. And I think in general, his play was pretty good, but he's just got the couple of brain explosions or just, loose ball security that makes it really tough to not have a negative opinion on him and just think about those areas. But overall, I thought he played really well. He's a good meter eater. He plays big minutes, makes a lot of tackles. He had big boots to fill as well in that front row position. So I thought he did really well. It's just the mistakes. If he could cut out the mistakes, that would be great. But I think that even if he had an error-free 6 to 8 weeks, as soon as he had a mistake, everyone would be asking for his head. He's just that kind of player now.
Yeah, he's definitely made a big old target for himself. The makeup of the bench, man, was interesting because we played a bit of small ball, I guess. We brought in Te Maire Martin to add on to the bench there once Jacko, gone into the starting lineup as well as Lecker as well. What's your thoughts on how we move forward with that? Are we going to maybe retain a guy with a bit more, versatility and play different positions and, a little bit more cover for the backs?
I liked it. I think I called it last week as well, having Te Maire Martin on the bench or something like that would be nice. And it worked out. I like to see CHT at number 9 as well. A couple of, not crisp passes, but that's to be forgiven. But I do like having a little bit of flexibility on that bench with Te Maire because he can fill so many possessions. He can basically fill everything from 1 to 7. He could arguably step into the 9 jersey if he wanted to as well. So it's just nice to have that flexibility, especially if there are injuries.
Yeah. And now the halves, probably a bit of a chat around them still, as it has been all season in terms of, they're getting a lot of opportunities and probably not being as clinical with them as they could be. But watching that game, I felt like they needed to probably during the week have a chat to someone from Wellington because we know how to work with the wind, right? we're trying to put in a kick in that second half, like, we're trying to put an up and under in it. And it was like, bro, kick it sideways and the wind will just drag it to where you want it. But what's your thoughts? What's the key, do you think, to getting Luke and Chanel to, really start hitting their straps and just taking teams apart?
I think it's just a matter of time. It's just got to click. And you're right. It's an experience thing, like the kicking wise, just having the experience and the skill set to, the best kickers in the windy conditions, they'll probably kick it a little bit lower, as Adam Reynolds was doing when he was playing into the wind, to nullify the strength of the wind. Metcalf with his goal kicking as well, probably wasn't taking the wind into account as much as he probably should have, but that comes with experience. So from that point, experience for the halves, at some point in time, if they play enough games together, it will click. I don't think it's a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That's my opinion on the halves. We've got to stick with them.
Yeah, nice. I think that's the approach Webby is taking as well from the looks of things. In terms of time in the saddle, we got our first glimpse of being able to see Leka Halasima start. And he didn't disappoint. He got out there and did his thing. Is he, are we best served to start playing him more and starting him a bit more from the word go?
Yep, 100%. I think we should start him. He's just a threat with the ball in hand. And the one thing I really like about him is he's a hard worker on defense as well. He's doing the stuff that you're not really concentrating on. Like he's, tailing the players. He's not shirking his responsibilities on defense. So those are all the traits of a quality starter. And I think the more he starts, the more minutes he gets, the better he's going to get as well. And he's just a threat. You can see the fear in people's eyes when he's got the ball because he's the kind of player that can just break tackles, offloads. Yeah, he's kind of like a new age Ali Lautiti almost. Maybe not, maybe as nimble as Ali, but he's definitely that sort of threat. So I'd love to see him start.
I love the way he set up that try of his. He kind of ducked on the inside and he slowed the defense down because he took a couple of soft steps. And then once he saw he had the guy sort of, a little bit flat-footed, man, he just hit the go button and just, brushed almost straight past his opposite number. And I was like, wow, that's That's like I keep thinking about the NFL where they talk about a running back who gets to the
Le'Veon Bell?
line of scrimmage and explodes. Like that
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell. Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell, yeah,
Yeah.
just takes his time, spots an opportunity, and then bursts. And I was thinking of Le'Veon Bell in that precise moment when he did it, because he stood up the defense, got them flat-footed, and then he just burst right past them. And he's just got such amazing acceleration for such a big man. It's just tough for even other big men to handle. Like, fuck, you know, if he's not going to beat them with power, he's going to beat them with speed. He's going to beat them with burst.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned about the, doing the dirty work, the little bits and pieces, making tackles, getting back and being where he needs to be, because, I've seen a lot of him in the different grades that he's played at. And honestly, like, he's played big minutes in a lot of those grades, and I have never seen him, absolutely buggered. Like, he's got an engine. So I'm like, bro, like, I'm happy to just bloody, obviously we're going to manage him in terms of he's still young and developing and that, but holy lecker, man, we gotta use that as much as we possibly can, while being sensible about it. But bro, 1/4 of the season is down, 24 games in the regular season. We are sitting at 4-2 again. We're kind of sitting there like, all right, okay, yeah. What is for you? What has been the biggest thing behind these results?
I think it's just finding a way to win. I mean, again, it's not the prettiest rugby league in town. We're not the flashiest team going, but we're finding ways to win. And, we've had some injuries, and we've had our fair share of injuries. We don't have a full strength lineup that we can put out in the park as yet. But it's nice to know that next cab off the rank is able to take up a position and do a job. So I think that's the biggest thing that probably has got us to where we are, is just finding a way to win. And I think also players like Metcalf stepping up to win us games, not shirking their responsibility and shying away.
Now, it's funny you mentioned about the next cab, off the rank. It's funny because a lot of the times I feel like the next cab is almost better than the one that's gone out. Like, I'm watching the work of Tane at fullback and on the wing that he's done all year, and I just think, bro, this guy's good, man. Like, I'm happy to have him in there wherever he plays. And same with Lecker as well. Starting, it's pretty a good little spot for us to be in, given that we have had a few injuries and also a suspension as well with old Rocco last week.
Was Rocco?
Yeah, I kind of thought it was crock of shit, but anyways, he'll be back this week. I'm assuming Chan's, with his HIA recovery, if that's all gone well, then he should be back in the team as well to take on the Knights. Mate, what are you looking at in terms of our lineup against Newcastle?
Yeah, if CNK's back, he takes up that fullback position. Tane slots out into the wing. He's back as well, so Pomps would probably man the other wing position too, I think, and Capewell slots back into the second row. But I would like to see Niokore on the bench and Halasima starting.
Oof, there you go. Shit, man. Capewell in the centre, like right from the word go, you could see he wanted to get that win, man. He was like, fucking hell, straight in there. First tackle, booyah. And I was like, okay, Capewell really wants this. And you could see it in his face, when he made that break. And he thought he was away.
He had a point to prove, eh?
Yeah.
he had a massive point to prove.
He was straining, man. And then, he thought he was going to get in. Great cover tackle to get across to him. And then he had to pull out the freakish offload and Luca to do the catch as well. But I liked seeing that. I was like, bro, this guy really wants it. So, it'd be interesting to see how he goes. So the key change from that would be Marata back to the bench and Lecker to stay in the starting lineup, but be bumped across to the right-hand edge, yeah?
Yeah, I think bump him across the right-hand edge. I think on either edge, he's probably pretty comfortable playing on either side of the park, so I don't think you're going to lose out too much on that. I think it's just getting him on the field, whichever way. He's young, he's impressionable. He seems like he's learning every week, So I think getting him on a different edge is fine. Capable, pushing him back into second row is a nice sort of luxury to have, considering the good job he did at centre. I thought he played really well. So yeah, Murata on the bench, yeah, I like that a lot better. I'm still sticking with that. I'm going to say it throughout the rest of the season. He should be on the bench.
Yeah, nice, bro. And of course, that would mean good old mate Ed Cossey started getting a little bit of feedback as he normally does for that game against the Broncos. So he'll be slotting back into New South Wales Cup, I would imagine, for old Ed. But bro, like I had a little bit of a look at the Knights game over the weekend, where they got well and truly stomped on. Now this is probably not. I'm not getting ahead of myself in terms of as a Warriors fan, because I know that we don't win Anzac games, so we got to fucking sort that out. But this game, in terms of two teams that are struggling perhaps a little bit on attack, has the potential to be fairly sort of dour.
Yeah, I can see it being a dour affair as well, unless the Knights decide to just finally click and turn it on. I mean, yeah, they're a really interesting team, especially that back line. They've got all the talent on the park, but they haven't seemed to make it work, and they're just playing some woeful footy as well. They're just an error-ridden team. I think the Warriors will be looking at that as well, and they'll just stick to the slow cooker recipe, They're just going to slow cook that team. They'll just let the Knights fuck it up themselves, and they'll just take advantage of it, because the Knights' error rate has been absolutely atrocious throughout this first period of the season.
Yeah, and you did right as well. They do have, they've got strike across the field. One of the players I'm really big on is Fletcher Sharp, who's probably playing out of position, but I think he's a hell of a player. And I'm thinking, I get a little bit worried when the Warriors play teams like this, teams who are struggling, teams who are not getting a lot going, because we have a habit of coming up against them and making them look like gods. So plus, I think the game's also in Christchurch as well.
Christchurch.
So it's first of all, it's the Anzac game. We're playing in Christchurch. I'm not sure what the weather might be like for that game. Probably not a lot worse than what we saw in the last game anyway. But bro, how do we go about finally breaking that Anzac curse this year?
I think we can't let the Knights take us by surprise. I get that feeling that the Anzac game is it every single Aussie team that marks that game as a game where they turn their season around. I can't help but feel that, and this is the game where the Warriors they expect a bit of an ambush, and then they get ambushed. So they've just got to park that, and this is just another game. Just stick to the process, and just continue on in that sort of vein. But yeah, it's always tough with this Anzac game, especially with the Knights team that have kind of got nothing to lose now. And of course, it has to be against the Warriors. It might be the game where they turn it around, but I just hope they don't. Basically, it just comes down to the forward pack doing the great job that they're doing, and making it easy for our halves to play just a really simple game plan, because they're not going to be flashy. That's not who our halves are. They've just got to stick to a simple game plan and just execute.
It's funny. A few of things that you've just mentioned there. You give me flashbacks to our Anzac game of last year. We come up against the Titans. I think they were 0-7 or something like that. And they came into the Anzac game, and I remember the episode before the match, you were like, we just need to look out because they might come out and ambush us. And, that's exactly how it went down in the end. So, so I'm just getting a little bit, probably a little bit more worried than I was before the start of this particular episode. But I guess, yeah.
Least we forget, man. Least we forget.
Absolutely, yeah. It's maybe is that us as well? Like, is it an occasion thing? We don't seem to be a team, that turns up for the big occasion.
Yeah, I think so. I think we like being under the radar, and the occasion gets to us. Maybe we might even just blow it out of proportion. But yeah, we don't seem to be the best team for a big occasion where the stakes are high and the expectations are high as well. If we just under the radar, we seem to perform a lot better. Maybe it's the pressure of the situation. But yeah, Anzac Day is not good for the Wars. Not good as a Wars fan.
Yeah, well. Positive vibes, guys.
You're not trying to be negative, man. Like
Yeah.
I think we've got every opportunity, and we've got the team to win. Let's hope it doesn't repeat itself.
Yeah, because it has often.
Because it has a lot.
I mean, even honestly, I'm even thinking about this year, like, big game, Vegas, shit. And then,
Exactly.
then we're going, well, big game in Melbourne, shit.
Yeah. It was
Now
like
it's
the year before, the very first game of the season against Cronulla, and we thought we had the wood on them after, the season before with that amazing victory over in the Shire, and then we shat the bed. And that was just an omen for the rest of the season.
Yes, absolutely. And also remembering as well, last year, I think we got a very scratchy win against the Raiders in Christchurch as well. So, yeah, I think the boys just need to switch on. Make your kicks, boys. That'll definitely help things. Help the.
He made the kick.
Hey, that's right. Yeah, and I guess that's the most important one. The save the best for last. But anyway, so I'd just like for us to do it with a little bit of a cushion next time. But anyways, that's not who.
That's not the Warriors way.
That's not who we are. Nah, bro. Any hot takes you want to throw in there before we jump out of this particular episode?
Hot take. I think Metcalf will have a big game. I think he's probably going to take the confidence away from being the match winner from the Broncos game and just run with it. I think he's just going to maybe take it up another level. He's got a lot of the spotlight. I think maybe he enjoys being in the spotlight as well, just like Sean O did, SJ. So maybe he's just going to take it and run with it. And hopefully maybe this is the week where he can really step up and start really steering this team around the park and being a real threat with the ball in hand.
Yeah. And I mean, he's been making a number of really, really good plays, like the try he scored against the Broncos. That was excellent. The obviously the kick. The week before, that try-saving tackle, that didn't matter too much when we were still getting pumped, but, just bits and pieces of brilliance you see from him. You think, yeah, man, this guy.
20 as well.
40-20.
That was a smart play as well.
That's it. That's exactly it.
He's growing in confidence.
Yeah, so I'd like to see, I hope it I hope all those little bits and pieces just add up and then he's like, yeah, sweet, bro, I'm the man. I'm going to do this. And likewise for Chanel, love to see him get up and, bloody make a big tackle on defense. I was kind of calling out for it. I was like, man, we need a big hit here. Chanel, where are you? And then within about 30 seconds, bam, it was like,
Kaboof!
My man.
And I think as well, like if the better Metcalf plays, the less pressure is going to put on CHT, and that's going to allow him to shine. Because I'm liking what I'm seeing with him as well. He's threatening the line with his running game, and don't really want to see him do too much kicking, but we know he can. But the more Metcalf can sort of take away the pressure from him, the better he's going to be.
Yep. Yeah, free him up to just do what he does.
Yep.
I was laughing after he did that tackle as well. I channeled my Jim Brown from Any Given Sunday when he was the defensive coach. And I was like, that's my motherfucker.
That's my motherfucker. That's how you hit.
Boy, oh boy. All right, big game coming up. Anzac. The Anzac curse. Hopefully we can just put that to bed. Slow cook the shit out of that one as well.
On high or low, just going to put it right down to low.
Yeah, keep it low. Just to... Yeah, because they just think, oh, this is easy. And then after a while, they're like, oh, it's getting a bit warm in here.
Suddenly, somebody take the lid off. Look, it's getting hot.
All good. Thanks very much for watching us, everyone. Check out our website, warriorsanonymous.co.nz if you're in New Zealand, and grab yourself some sweet, sweet merch. If you're anywhere else around the world, it's warriorsanonymous.com.au. But you'll find us. Get on there and get yourself some merch. Isaac's modelling it home as well. There we go, the W8, not the AW.
Not a.
That's right. Look at that. Just makes those abs pop out like the ab flex. That's right. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Isaac, best of luck for this coming week. We're not sure if we'll be seeing you next week with the new arrival on the way. So if we do, we do. And if we don't, well, yeehaw, my friend. Best of luck.
Yeah, if you don't see me, you know where I am. Or you know what's happened. You don't have to call the cops and wonder where Isaac is. It's be pretty obvious.
That's it, bro. You're getting your hand crushed. It's all right. It's all right.
Oh my
You're okay.
God.
You'll be great, bro. You'll be great, and hopefully the Warriors will be too. Until then,
that'll be a big gift.
Absolutely. Until next time, we will catch you then. And yeah, for now, up the wires.
La cucaracha ya no puede caminar.